The conference semi-final promo is a weird one. There's good and bad depending on which way you look at it. And starting off, all of the masters are strategic except for that grandmaster who is a Steph Curry, and he is a power player. Now, having all strategic players is good for strategic players, but also it is a negative for everyone else who is playing with a finesse lineup, a power lineup, all of that stuff. It is a negative for that. If you remember earlier on in the season, I think it was the second promo that we had, it was the Mad Scientist one, and we had Jimmy Butler in every single position, but he was always finesse. No matter what position he was a finesse player. So we had a bunch of finesse masters. This promo, we're getting a bunch of strategic masters. Now, I'm not saying it kind of balances it out. It doesn't, and it still is annoying for a lot of players. So say you're not a strategic player, then what are you meant to go for? Yes, you're going to try and get that Steph Curry. Yes, the cards are still kind of valuable because they're giving out team boosts, but they're not really going to help your team a huge amount because they're not the play style that you're playing with at the moment. Now, who's to say that we don't get a power promo later on in the season where we get just power players? I have no idea whether we're going to have that. Maybe that will balance it out. So each time we'll get one set of masters from each different play style for each promo. I have no idea whether that's going to work. But going through the masters themselves, they have got some okay stats. Chris Paul probably has the best ones, then Bam Adebayo, then probably Draymond Green. But the rest of the masters, there's nothing stand out with their stats over here. Like Draymond Green, there's nothing really stand out. Jaylen Brown, Magic Johnson, there aren't really those standout stats. Now, when it comes to the Grandmaster, that 100 overall Stephen Curry, you can look at it in two different ways. One, he's giving out an elite athleticism boost. He's 100 overall. He's a pretty decent card. And then a lot of people look at the stats, and they are decent stats, but they look like Giannis's stats. They don't look like a Steph Curry card's stats. Now, a bunch of people, when this promo dropped, looked at that 3-point rating and were like, this is not a Curry card. This is horrendous. I don't like this at all. Because he has that 93-point shot. Now, you could look at it in that way and say, oh, it's a rubbish promo, it's a rubbish master, because it isn't true to Steph Curry. But then you could also look at it and say it is an interesting card. We have had sort of that Shaquille O'Neal who was 12 foot for April Fools. Yes, this isn't to do with April Fools or anything like that, but it is still an interesting card because we haven't had a Steph Curry card with a low 3-point shot, some good rebounding stats, a high dunking, a high layup, all of this stuff. It's looking like a Giannis build, but it isn't. It's with that Steph Curry. So it is an interesting card, although the majority of people look at this card and say it's not a Steph Curry card, it's not good, I hate it. But that is another way of thinking about it and maybe something to take into consideration when it comes to the promo. And getting on into the actual promo itself, besides the Masters, it's one that we've had before. It is a fan favorite promo, but every time we get it, we always come up with the same different things that we want to have fixed. And the very main thing with that is basically having less stamina requirements on the Blitz events. Now, I've been through this a bunch of times when we have had this promo format. I get why there's 75 stamina, just because it makes it difficult. The last promo that we had, the Lone Warriors one, that had a good balance between making it too difficult and making it too easy. It was a nice fit in between. This one here is slightly too difficult, in my opinion, to do with stamina costs. It's not impossible to get through, say, 40 events a day. That's what a lot of people have been doing if they want to try and get that Grandmaster. You don't have to do that to get a Grandmaster. It's just going to help you a little bit. You can always try and get the Grandmaster on 20 events, but even that is going to drain your stamina quite a bit. And it would be much better if we could have all of the Blitz events at maybe about 50 stamina each. That would make things a lot easier for a lot of people, and it would mean that a lot of people are going ahead and playing through it. Now, one thing I did think of is if we're keeping the 75 stamina, maybe have a leaderboard dropping every single day, because then you will get some extra rewards if you're not putting in as much stamina per se. Because say I play through 20 events, that might get me up to top 100 on the leaderboard. I will get some extra rewards from the leaderboard itself to help me. And if I do end up playing 40 events a day, that might put me up to the top 10 on that leaderboard for the day, and that means I get some more rewards on top of the stuff that I've worked hard to be able to get. And that would be very, very good in my opinion, because the only way you can get the points is through actually playing through the events. You can't get them in the store, so it would be a very nice sort of free-to-play friendly leaderboard instead of other pay-to-win ones that we have had in the past. I think that'd be pretty nice if EA were trying to look at this promo and make a couple of tweaks, make a couple of adjustments, because we've had this one a bunch of times now, and it would be nice if we could have a couple of changes. So yeah, those are a couple of little tweaks that I thought of, and I would like to see it be more to do with different playstyles, some better masters here and there, because we do get similar masters again and again and again. But enough of what I think. I also asked you guys, as always, on my YouTube community page and on my Discord server. The link to that, as always, is in the description, about your guys' thoughts and opinions. Let's start off on Discord with Cutie Pie, who says there are no thoughts. What the hell is this? None of it makes sense. It is all strategic. The players have bad stats. Curry is mid. and in the wrong position, 2 out of 10, and I'm a strategic player. Now this is interesting because I said at the beginning of the video, if you're a strategic player, you could be looking at this promo thinking it is absolutely amazing. You're getting players with team boosts, all of that stuff, but I do understand why some people think of it in a negative light, and I do get that. I kind of get both sides, and I'm trying to keep sort of a fair opinion with the promo itself when I'm looking at your guys' thoughts, but obviously I do have my preference, and I think it is still on the negative end with this promo. But again, I agree with like none of it makes sense. It's all strategic, all of that stuff, all the players having bad stats. Probably Chris Paul is the slight exception to that because his stats are pretty good. Maybe if he had a bit of a better boost, but I do get why it's a playmaking one because of course it's a Chris Paul card. He's great at playmaking in real life. But Curry, again, having those mid stats. But again, it's like when you look at the Curry card, your eyes are immediately drawn to that three-pointer, the shooting stats, the mid-range stats, all of that stuff. But if you look at Curry on a whole, he is actually a decent card. Like if he wasn't Curry, like he didn't have the name Curry, he was someone else, he was say Giannis at that shooting guard position, people would actually pretty like that card because it's got great rebounding stats, great layup, great dunking, all of that stuff. But I do get why having a Curry card, you want to be able to shoot with him, you want to be able to knock down threes as he does in real life. And having a shooting guard is a real issue for some people because they really wanted to have say him, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, but now you can't really have him and Klay Thompson because they're both at that shooting guard position. Yes, you can use a lower overall version of them, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Aditya over here said Curry is trash, copy and paste format, all strategic players, wrong position for Curry. However, it is a free to play promo, overall 3 out of 10. And a lot of people are on sort of the lower end with the rating. We'll go through the poll at the end of the video, but yeah, having a copy and paste format, we've come from such a high of having that Lone Warriors promo that's completely new, really fun, really exciting to play through and get masters, and it was a really good master in that Allen Iverson. And again, we dropped off again. We didn't stay at that high level, which is a bit unfortunate. X over here has a different opinion and he says 10 out of 10. You guys are all ungrateful. I get how all the masters are strategic and Steph's stats aren't good, but it's free. Some of the masters are useful in their own way, especially Curry. At least this promo is not pay to win, and I do kind of see that. Again, I see kind of both sides of the argument, but yeah, all the masters are kind of useful because it is nice to have them all on your bench, say, and then you're getting a ton of boost. Again, I'm trying to see it from a strategic player's point of view, a finesse player and a power player, and I do understand the advantages and disadvantages for all different play styles in their own right. Bring It Electrifying says 5 out of 10. It uses 75 stamina, and I barely have something around 480 stamina. Also, if you are only a casual player, it's hard to get the masters, and the Grandmaster is impossible to get. Obviously, I'm guessing with that 480 stamina, I'm guessing he hasn't reached, I think it's level 60 to be able to get 600 stamina on your bar, which I do understand. Everyone's at varying sort of like progress with the game at the moment and what levels you have and how much XP you've got and how much stamina you've got in your thing. So I do get if your thing only goes up to 480, is going to be a bit difficult. And again, if you're a casual player, it is hard to get the promo masters themselves. It's not impossible to get a Grandmaster. You could probably maybe pay 20 events and get a master, but you'd have to have a lot of luck. So I do kind of see that having that reduced from 75 to 50 would be very, very nice. Pablo Parra over here said EA can make it better. Warriors aren't the only team playing in the semi-finals, plus the Curry stats are an April Fools. Come on, where's Giannis, Luka, Bridges, Smart as a Grandmaster? 6 out of 10. And I do agree, like we do keep getting similar players again and again, and I do get the playoffs. You've got only a limited amount of teams that are actually in the playoffs, and as we get closer to the final, that is only going to decrease. But I do want to see maybe a Giannis card. Like I was actually thinking this promo might have a Giannis Grandmaster, and we kind of have it, but it is still a Steph Curry card, if that makes sense. A Luka Doncic card, again, that'd be very nice, although they might be going home in the conference semi-finals to the Suns, which will be a little bit unfortunate, so he can't get a card for him. Bridges again would be nice. Smart again would be pretty nice as Grandmasters. It would be really nice if we could have some of these guys and different guys as the Grandmasters in future promos as well, which might not be the case because they might go out in the semi-finals, but if we could have had them in this one, it would have made for a very nice promo in my opinion. 2K Baller XZ said worst promo since the Dunk Masters. I'm trying to think now what other promos that we've had, and I think that he might actually be slightly right. Again, it's depending on what way you look at it. This promo literally splits people in half. Most people are on the side of it's a rubbish promo, but some people are on the side of it's an interesting promo over there. It is kind of like a tale of two halves in itself. KB824 says I rate it a 3 as we have seen the same concept before, and the fact there is another Draymond Green card and that Steph has a low 3-point rating. Now Draymond Green, he was a master I think in the first round of the playoffs promo, and have him again, it is kind of like annoying because we have had him now twice, which again, we've alluded to this before. You can have loads of different masters with these types of promos. There's still plenty of teams left in the playoffs themselves that we could have masters for, and they're not actually getting those master cards, which is a little bit of a shame to see. Now we'll end it off with the ratings over here. So I asked you guys on my community page, what would you rate this promo out of 5 stars? 12% said 1 star, 43% the majority saying 2 stars, 17% at 3 stars, 15% at 4 stars, and 13% of you said saying it was 5 stars out of 5 stars. We got 1,200 votes over here. You guys can go ahead and vote on it yourself. It's interesting to see majority at that 2 stars, but it isn't a huge majority. We've seen bigger majorities before with past promos that I've done, so it's still interesting. A lot of people are still either side of that 2-star rating. I'd say it's probably in the 2 to 3-star rating. It's not a 1-star by any means, because the players themselves are still useful, but I do get everyone's frustration with this promo, and I see that. I am a little bit frustrated. I think we could have got some more masters, some lower stamina requirements, just spicing things up a little bit, making the promos a bit more interesting, and EA have shown it. With the Lone Warriors promo, they showed what they can do if they were creative with a new promo format, and I'd like to see that carry on into future promos. They don't all have to be new, but at least make some tweaks and adjustments to promos that we've got now to make them a bit more exciting and a bit more refreshing as we go through. And I'd like to see, especially with the playoffs promos, as we get closer and closer to the finals, completely new promo formats. Like, I want to see that finals promo either be like season 1 or season 2, or maybe season 3 or season 4, or be completely new, because that would be really, really fun to have a finals promo, the biggest moment in the NBA season this year. Why not have a really, really solid promo to go along with that? But that is going to be the promo review video for this conference semi-finals promo. Let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts and opinions are. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What are your thoughts? And also, if you want to go check out how you can get these masters completely free and really quickly as we head over into the second half of this promo, go check out the video in the bottom left hand corner where I went through all the tips and tricks to help you get the masters completely free. Go check out that video, and I'll see you guys in that one. Peace.